As we know that our cells are making lots of protein all the time, and the information for those protein are stored in our DNA, in our gene. So first of all, that DNA, that gene has to be converted into RNA, and then this RNA will come out of the nucleus. It will attach on the ribosome, and the process of protein synthesis will take place. The process of conversion of gene or DNA into RNA is called as transcription, while the process of conversion of RNA into protein is called as translation. Today I will talk about the translation, and all the basic and advanced level concept will be discussed. Transcription has been discussed in my previous video. Ribosome play a very important role in the process of translation. The eukaryotic ribosome, it is made up of two subunits, 60S and 40S. Ribosome is not a cell organelle, it's a particle that is made up of ribosomal RNA and proteins. The 60S ribosome, it is made up of 3 ribosomal RNA and 50 protein, while 40S ribosome, it is made up of 1 ribosomal RNA and 33 proteins. If we talk about the stages of translation, we'll get to know that there are basically 3 stages: initiation, elongation, and termination. Sometimes recycling is also considered as the 4th stage of translation. Now, if we talk about the components of translation, ribosome, transfer RNA, messenger RNA, amino acid, and protein factors, these are the important components, and they all play their important role in the process of translation. Before talking about the transfer RNA and messenger RNA, I would like to talk about the codon and anticodon. Codon are basically sequence of 3 nucleotide: adenosine, uracil, and guanosine. These are the 3 nucleotides. The sequence of 3 nucleotide is called as one codon. So this is a codon, this is another codon, this is another codon, this is another codon. And the sequence of nucleotide that is present on the messenger RNA. This orange RNA is a messenger RNA, this purple RNA is a transfer RNA. The sequence of 3 nucleotide present on the messenger RNA, and it code for one particular amino acid is called as codon. Like AUG amino acid, also called as start codon, and it has anticodon UAC. The anticodon will be present on the transfer RNA, and on the other side of the transfer RNA, that amino acid will be present that will be coded by this codon. You can see the codon and amino acid chart that AUG code for the methionine. So the AUG, the methionine that will be coded by the AUG will be present on that particular transfer RNA having anticodon against this codon. So this transfer RNA will attach with this codon, and the amino acid methionine will be present on the other side of the transfer RNA. Similarly, AGU code for the serine, and the anticodon UCA will be present on the transfer RNA. AGG code for arginine, and the anticodon UCC present on the other side of the transfer RNA. Now, all these amino acids, they will link together and they will make a chain of amino acid. And you know that that chain of amino acid basically called as protein. So in this way, protein synthesis will take place. Protein factors also play a very important role in the process of translation. In the all stages, initiation, elongation, termination, some protein factors are required. Without these protein factors, the process of translation can never be completed. Now, if we talk about the first stage of translation, that is initiation, in the first stage, the 40S ribosome will attach with a transfer RNA having anticodon UAC. And here you can see UAC is an anticodon against this AUG, and AUG is also called as start codon. It means translation will always start from this particular codon AUG, and against which the anticodon will be called as UAC. So the first transfer RNA having UAC anticodon and having methionine amino acid will be placed at the P site. But for this purpose, we have to block A site and E site so that this transfer RNA cannot be placed at A site and E site. We want this transfer RNA to be placed at P site. For this purpose, protein factors are going to play a very important role. The protein factor EIF1, it will block the E site. It will come and attach on the E site. The protein factor EIF1A, it will come and attach on the A site. Now both the site has been blocked. Now this P site is ready to accept the transfer RNA. Clear? At the same time, at this stage, we don't want our 60S ribosomal unit to come and attach over the 40S ribosome. So this EIF3 factor play a very important role. It will not let 60S ribosome to come and attach over the 40S ribosome at this stage. Okay. Now, this transfer RNA will be placed on the P site, and this with the help of another factor that is called as EIF2, initiation factor 2. Here you can see this pink color factor is initiation factor 2, and a GTP molecule is also attached with the EIF2. These GTP molecules are very important and they are going to play important role in the process of translation, and you will see their importance in the later part of the video. Another very important factor, that is EIF5. It is also present over the EIF1A, and this EIF5 is also GTP attached protein factor. Clear? So now here you can see the transfer RNA has been placed at the P site. EIF1, EIF1A, EIF5, EIF3 are also present over there, and this complex is called as 43S pre-initiation complex. 43S pre-initiation complex. Clear? Now, we have not talked about the EIF4 right now. We have talked about EIF1, EIF1A, EIF2, EIF3, EIF5. We have not talked about EIF4. EIF4 basically will attach with the messenger RNA. After the post-transcriptional modification, the messenger RNA will be having this type of structure. It will be having 3' poly A tail and 5' capping, and a secondary structure will also be present. And now this EIF4 having further subunits EIF4A, EIF4E, EIF4G, they will attach on this messenger RNA. We have to remove this secondary structure and we have to make this messenger RNA straight. So the EIF4A will attach just beside the secondary structure. EIF4A will attach just beside the secondary structure. It will be having a helicase like activity, and you know that helicase enzyme basically break these hydrogen bonds, and once these hydrogen bonds will be broken down, this RNA will get straight. EIF4E will attach with this 5' capping, 5' cap, and then this EIF4G will attach over the EIF4E. Over the EIF4G, poly A binding protein, poly A PABP, poly A binding protein will be present, and we will get this type of structure. This is EIF4A, 4E, 4G, and poly A binding protein. Secondary structure will be removed, and this poly A will attach with this poly A binding protein, and a closed structure of RNA will be formed. Messenger RNA will be formed. Now there are several codons will be present on the messenger RNA, as we have talked that codons are present on the messenger RNA. Here I have mentioned two important codons, AUG and UGA. AUG is the start codon. The process of translation will start from this particular codon. Okay. Now, after the formation of this closed structure, this structure will attach with the pre-initiation complex, and a initiation complex will be formed like this. Here you can see this was our pre-initiation complex. Transfer RNA was there at the P side, and protein factor were present on the 40S ribosome, and a closed structure of messenger RNA has been formed. Now, this pre-initiation complex and messenger RNA, closed structure of messenger RNA, they will attach together, and a initiation complex will be formed. This is not pre-initiation. Now, this is the initiation complex will be formed. And the transfer RNA that is present in this initiation complex having codon UAC, and this UAC is complementary to the AUG, and we know that AUG is a start codon. Now the next step is scanning. This codon, this anticodon, this ribosome, it will start looking for the start codon AUG, because we know that the process of translation always starts from the AUG, from the start codon. So this complex, it will start looking for the start codon, and this process is called as the scanning of